the marketing manager at Horizon Software and host of Gab N Go podcast, and I'm so excited to be here with Stefanie Giannini of Marquardt School District 15. We are at the School Nutrition Association's annual national conference. We have found somehow the quietest spot in this entire exhibit hall, but Stefanie is here. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
We are here for one of our first ever Gab N Go video interviews, and Stefanie actually led a breakout session about self-awareness and how that applies to being a leader at the Illinois SNA conference. Is that right? So she's really bringing that topic to the national platform here and to Gab N Go. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
And can you just start off by telling us, a little bit about that topic?
Okay, so self-awareness, I would say it's kind of a life tool that anyone can apply to any part of their life, personal, professional. It is just being aware of, your motivations, your actions, your habits, the way you're feeling, why we do what we do, because I often say, as humans, we go through life kind of like on autopilot. So, like I said in my class, when you are, driving somewhere and you don't even know how you got there because you were zoned out, that's how we live our lives. So, we may say like, well, yeah, I know I did that, but you may not be aware of the feelings of why you did something, or be aware of how you acted towards somebody, or how your habits or actions or your spaciness, whatever it may be, is affecting your work, affecting you as a leader. And it's just, it's a skill that once you know yourself better, and it's a skill you have to practice a lot for it to become natural, that you can benefit yourself and your team, and it can apply honestly in anywhere in your life. Truly.
Yeah, I really like that because it's stopping us from going on autopilot, doing things the way we've always done them, stopping and reflecting. So can you tell us, when you presented this session at the Illinois State Show, why did you choose that topic? What brought you there? Because it's very out of the standard comfort zone of the school nutrition session topic. So what brought you there?
Yes, it's definitely a little bit different of a topic, which is why I wanted to do it, because, we have a lot of information on operational things and a lot of leadership, breakout sessions and webinars and things like that. But I feel like self-awareness, it is something that starts with just one person, yourself, which is why I think it's so important. But why I chose it is because it is something that has I implement in every part of my life, and it's a skill that I really had to, grow and perfect and strengthen. And it's helped me through. I started working on it honestly in high school. I used to be a very different person. I wasn't this bubbly person, but I used it to be aware of why I was always, a more negative person, why I didn't have patience for things, why I didn't go for things, I wasn't ambitious, things like that. And just taking note of how I felt inside and how, why, like I said, why I treat people the way I treat them, and just all different things. And it's helped me get through a lot of tough life experiences, and especially professionally, it helped me get through my internship, and helped me get through, those tough days at work, and try and make them better for myself. And it also focuses a lot on knowing your strengths and weaknesses. And I think that is probably the hardest part for people, because they know their strengths really well, but it's really hard to face yourself and look at your weaknesses. Right. But what I always say is every strength does have a weakness on the back end, and that's where I think people don't realize it. Where you're really strong in one area, it can almost directly or indirectly affect the weakness that you have.
And it can help you build your team and cultivate your team, because if you're aware of your weaknesses, then you know to pull from other strengths to kind of combat that. So I understand when you led this breakout session, it was a huge hit with your audience. Can you tell us now, taking that topic and applying it to school nutrition leadership, how do those connect?
Yeah, so it really connects to being a leader. I think that is where leaders kind of struggle the most, is because we're so busy, and in our job, school nutrition, anybody would tell you it's a field that's nonstop. Things don't go as planned, so it's really hard to be self-aware, because you're just trying to keep up to speed and trying to do the best that you can do. And where I think people need to focus more on their weaknesses and strengths and things like that is focus on how, let me give you an example. So my number one example I always say is I'm a super creative person, which would seem like a total benefit in school nutrition. I like to think outside the box. I like a good challenge. But because of that, I'm extremely disorganized. I'm extremely messy. My brain goes 1,000 miles per hour, so I am constantly thinking. But on the downside, I am very scatterbrained, which hugely affects people that work with me because I forget everything. I leave things at the office. It's not easy for people to work with me sometimes. But knowing that, I try to work on that and try to think of simple ways to improve on that weakness to help other people. So not only is it going to help when you focus on your weaknesses and you're self-aware of them, when you work on them, you're not only going to improve your quality of work life per se, but you also are going to make life easier on those that you work with, those that you lead. But also, when you really truly know yourself and know everything about yourself in and out, what motivates you, what feelings cause you to react a certain way, you can look at your team a lot differently.
Yeah.
So as humans, we're all different, very different, and that's what makes it hard to work with people sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I'm a super sensitive person. I am very sweet. I'm a very personable person, but when I'm working with somebody who's strictly business, who has no emotion, that's hard to work with. And it's easy for me to say, well, that's just a cold-hearted person. That is somebody, I could never work with them. They don't work with me. That's not true. That's just how people work differently. So when you ask yourself those questions of why am I like this? Why do I do what I do? You can look at somebody else and say, maybe I can better understand why they do that, and I can change the way that I work with them in order to have a more cohesive work environment.
Absolutely. And with things like that, like for instance, you're saying that you're scatterbrained, but if your team sees that you are aware of that and you are working on it, they're going to better just react to you as a leader. So I love this.
Yeah.
This is great.
Well, that's like a huge thing I say is take responsibility. I own my weaknesses, and I think as leaders we feel like we can't do that. You feel like you've got to be so strong for everyone, and I know in this field especially, people, they have families, they have their own stuff going on. Everyone's got tough things that they go through in life, and they feel like they have to be the strong person that's got it all together. And you're a bad leader, you're a bad boss, you're a bad director if you have any type of flaw, and that's not the case.
Right.
Being vulnerable is the hardest part for people. So although it may seem hard to own those weaknesses and realize you have areas to improve on, you'd be so surprised how receptive people are to you, because it's like, okay, she knows she's human. I think that's where people get most frustrated, is when they feel like if they have a supervisor or somebody they work with who think they're perfect, right? Think they have nothing wrong with them. And that's the hardest part for people, is because they shut down because they're like, you can't even see outside of yourself.
Yeah.
But with self-awareness, you really are taking a step outside, looking into yourself and like self-analyzing everything you do to better understand yourself, and then take it a step further and better understand your team.
Right. What I love about this topic is so many topics at sessions, at conferences, like we come back and we have to analyze and we have to implement, and we have to try this new recipe, and it takes a while to get things going. And we actually had Stefanie Dove from Loudoun County Public Schools was here earlier. She talked about how she's implementing things this year from last year's ANC, which is great, that's fine. But something like this is something you can start working on today, this minute.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for bringing this to us. Thank you for, in the middle of Las Vegas, for stopping and sharing, and we're so excited to share this. And everybody check out Stefanie's episode. We'll leave you her episode 12, where you, what was your topic?
We talked about a marketing video we did.
Yes. See, it's obviously the ANC brain. So yes, you had this amazing promotional video that you created. Definitely check it out. You really took us through, like, from the beginning to end of creating that marketing video, and so we're just so appreciative of you sharing with us.
No, I love everything you do, and you bring a whole new aspect to the world of school nutrition. Podcasts, social media, it's awesome. So thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us, and we hope everyone enjoys the rest of ANC.